Hey everybody, so we're talking about finding a least squares regression line equation using different data. So this is going to be kind of a weird one. Everything that has an x next to it are formulas that don't matter. The blue, the green, and the red do matter. So I did an example in Khan Academy, and I'm just going to go through my steps. So I know I'm not doing this as we go, but it's going to have to work. So this blue one looks a lot like a plus bx. They just call it different names, b0 and b1. So like, that's our y-intercept, the b0, because it's alone, it's called a constant, and b1 is called the slope. Also, we use b. So each of these is a formula to find one of those things. The red finds the slope, the green finds the y-intercept, or the constant. You have to have the slope to find, you have to have red to find green, because b1 is in the green formula. So when I'm doing this question, I'm going to find red, then green, and I'll plug it all in. So it gives me some information. It gives me R, it gives me average of the x's, standard deviation of the x's, the average of the y's, the standard deviation of the y's, and it's asking me to find a least squares regression equation. So the slope formula, the red one, I rewrote it. It's R times standard deviation of y over standard deviation of x. So I plugged it in, 0.9 times 16.2 is standard deviation of y, 12 is standard deviation of x. I plugged it in and I got 0.1215. Now, this is actually where Khan Academy gets weird. I'm going to have to redo my numbers here, because when you're solving stuff, so when you enter in, it says round to the nearest hundredth, round it. When you're solving, though, use all the unrounded values until you're done. So I'm actually going to plug in 1.215. I made this mistake in class. And then I'll solve, and then I'll get a different answer. So I need Desmos here. Alright, so I'm going to plug this in off screen while I just talk about my day. It's been a good time. Times 24.1. Okay, I got 16. I got negative 16.3815. So when I plug, so I'm going to use my unrounded value to solve the problem. I'm going to use my rounded value to put in the answer. So this is round to the nearest hundredth. That's the 8. So 1 makes it round down to the 8. So it's going to be negative 16.38. It's always good to check the hints to see how they did it. Like if you get slightly off, like, oh, it's just a rounding thing, I got it. Anyhow, I use the red value in the formula for the green. So I do need to talk about green. The y-intercept formula is the average of the y's minus the slope times the average of x's. I'm going to plug in slope there, and I'm going to plug in average of x's and average of y's to where they go. Just plug in the calculator, and I got the answer. So that's that. I'm going to stop this video, and we're going to talk about a different one.